Okay, we're back. For some reason, the frames dropped to 0, which is never good. Uh, so we're back here. Okay. Okay, we're back. I noticed that the frames dropped to 0 for some reason. I don't know if it was the interruption here, the Wi-Fi here in the facility. It's the first time that happened. So we're back, and we'll be walking the table soon again. Making some adjustments here. Okay, so let's walk around, see what's on. Everybody's gonna have lunch now, so. One thing that intrigues me is this. It says here, integrated system of the battles of antiquity. And it's the great battles of history. And you have some C3I content here. So I guess you have here all the scenarios. Now, they have these huge hexes, which is really great. And I really like the Great Battles of History. The only thing that I don't like, to be frank, is the excessive use of markers on the units. And when you play one of these games, you see specifically the cohesion markers on top of the units. But when I look at this particular battle here, I don't see any cohesion markers. And this is Beneventum 275, and these are big units here, big counters. This must be like 3/4 of an inch, very thick. I don't see any cohesion markers here. I guess this is just a setup. I wish that you could take care of cohesion with at the command level. So instead of, for example, you have this group of units here, that you could have cohesion at the command level instead of each unit. I don't know if that's possible. I haven't tried it myself. Here you have another group of units that you would activate, would be this command, I suppose. These light infantry units. And we have the rest of the line there. And the system is obviously, it's had the test, it's withstood the test of times. They're still, it's published by GMT. And this one looks beautiful because the hexes are enlarged, right? So you have these counters that look just awesome. They're very big. So. But I wonder the integrated system for the battles of antiquity. So I'd have to ask around, so find out what that is about. And here we have, let's see here. These are Napoleonics. I don't know what the deal with the boxes are, but they look very nice. Got the French eagle there. You have nice decoration, I suppose. Then you have, this is Albuera, I guess. No, Niebla de Guerra. So this system, they're using these wooden pieces that conceal the identity of the units. So you can see there. See, each unit is on like a little L-shaped carriage. Hethwill, nice to see you. And so that way you conceal the identity of the units. A fog of war system. Trying to figure out what particular game is this, but I know they're using that fog of war system, which are these wooden pieces, L-shaped pieces. So, very nice presentation. We got some cups with flags here. That looks nice. The great thing about war games, they're physical games. They're not computer games. You play them as you want them to be played. This is The Lamps Are Going Out. This is a game by Compass. This is Julius Caesar by, this is the company that does the block games. I just went blank. Columbia Games, yeah. We got John Longshore, Spanish Convention. Yes, this is the 5th Bellota Con in Badajoz, Spain. This is the 2nd day of the convention. I always see this game in conventions. People love this game. Angola by Multiman Publishing. That's always a regular feature at each convention. And we have the El Otro Lado de la Colina, the other side of the hill, still being played. This is one of my games I'm most interested in because it's the most unusual game, where each player represents one part of the German High Command. They're going to go for lunch now. So. The good thing about everybody going out for lunch is that I can show you the games up close. This is von Manstein's Triumph. This is a block game, and I like the cover art because it's a Russian sailor. And this is the Russians defending the Crimea. A block game that uses a system of Santa Cruz, which is a game published by, I think it's Bellica 3rd Generation, very popular in Spain. A convention favorite, Santa Cruz. So this uses the same system as Santa Cruz. The artwork is by Ivan Cáceres. And you see, for example, the cards are just beautiful. And the cards tell you what you can do. You really like Santa Cruz? Me too. I played it in the next to last Bellota convention that I attended. Really nicely done. So this is a game that is designed by Francisco Ronco, but the artwork is by Ivan Cáceres. He's one of the best, I think, wargaming artists, period, and he's Spanish, and he's always, I don't know if he's in the convention, though. I haven't seen him yet. He may be here. So it's blocks. The Germans are attacking the Soviets. The Germans need to capture Sevastopol there. And you have cards, you have counters, but it's a block game. using the Santa Cruz system. So this one is really interesting. And this is going to be published coming up by NAC War Games. NAC War Games is a company that existed in the 80s in Spain, and they're going to publish in the Americas somehow. I'm taking home some of their games. So how many people here? I think they were expecting 300. Maybe we have 150. We've had a pretty. I mean, this area here is huge. Let me just circle around so you can have an idea. This is lunch hour now. So I just had 2 beers. I'm not ready for lunch. So I'm just filming now. But it's a very big area. This is an auditorium that belongs to the municipality of Badajoz. You can see it has a very high, the roof is very high, very nicely done. Very nice screen. And I wanted to integrate my videos to the screen, but for some reason the Wi-Fi here is different. We couldn't do that, but next year we'll do that. And it's a really nice place. I guess you can easily have 500 to 600 people in this room in a non-COVID environment, because the tables are separated. You see there's a lot of space. So let's go over to the tables where they're playing this Downfall. This is a game by this Spanish company in Barcelona, Do It Games. So they're playing Downfall here. They're being added. Well, this is Downfall of Empires. This is World War I. You see the rule book here? And this rule book is in English. Check out the pages here. So, designed by Victor Catala. Jesus Peralta, the graphic designer. And it's 7 pages of rules. Hola, Arthur, estamos en vivo.
Hostia, qué nervios.
Está bien. Estoy aquí con Arthur Sanón.
Exacto.
So you guys could, here's Arthur from Do It Games, from Barcelona, where I was born, donde yo nací. Y estamos viendo el Downfall of Empires. Esto es un juego estratégico, ¿no? Strategic game, World War I.
Strategic game, but have some operational side.
Okay.
So basically, it reminds Path of Glory. So for people who likes Path of Glory,
okay,
you can try, because it keeps the suffering of Path of Glory,
okay,
but few rules, because only 4 pages of rules,
okay,
and to play a completely game of First World War,
yes,
you can take about 3 hours.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Less than half of Path of Glory.
So how does the game work? It's not a card-driven game, right?
Correct. It's every player have several actions. For example, the German player have 3 actions,
Okay.
and you have to choose from 6 available. And actions are very small, very atomic. So, like, one action could be to build a trench.
Okay.
Just put a trench in one area, that's all.
That's one action.
Second action you can choose from, it's to put reinforcements on the map.
Place reinforcements, okay.
Third action is to activate up to 3 armies.
Oh.
So you can move and
So in
attack.
one action you can activate up to 3 armies.
Correct.
And the armies are these
Yeah.
those units that are rectangular shape?
Yes.
Those are the armies.
It has the NATO symbology.
Oh, okay.
But we have changed for our Kickstarter
Okay.
a little more friendly for Eurogamers.
Yes.
So we'll put a face of a soldier
Okay,
instead of
I see. Instead of the NATO symbol.
that's correct.
Okay, so that activate armies, activate up to 3 armies. That's our third action. What else could we
Correct.
do?
So there are several neutral countries
Yes.
like Italy, Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania, USA.
Yes.
The only way you have to join the war, exactly.
So that's the
That's the point.
that's the whole point of the game. Yeah, you got to pick and choose your actions.
Exactly.
Now I see that you got 3 tables,
Four.
4 tables.
We disembark.
Oh, okay. Because you have downfall of empires, which is World War I, and then you have downfall of the Third Reich, which
Yep.
is World War II.
We have 2 tables with downfall of the Reich,
Yes.
but people has gone to dinner to have lunch.
No, that's why I put the camera now, because there's nobody. Now I can get close to the games.
If you come with me,
Yeah, let's go. I'll go with you. Sure. So this is downfall of the Third Reich, and I'm looking at the map from.
yeah, we are in the middle of the game.
Yes.
So we are in 1942. So you can see here's the turn track,
Yes.
and just USA has joined the war
Yes.
because we are in summer
Okay.
1942. The system is quite similar to the other one,
Okay.
but it's slightly more complex because in Downfall of Empires, all
Yes.
the army are infantry,
Yes.
but here are different kinds of armies.
Oh, I see.
Basically,
And here
there
you have the fate, the silhouette, the soldiers.
Yes.
Depictions that you were talking about. You have them in
Yeah.
this one. Yeah. And here you have, I guess, regular armies, and you have panzer or armor.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
But to build panthers, armors, is not easy because you need to have enough in the armor track, which is here.
Oh, you see. So this is like a development track in order to build armored
Armors.
units. You have to invest.
Yeah. First, like in this example, Germans can build up to 5 steps of
Oh,
armors.
I see.
But spending, okay. So every step will spend one point of armors.
I see.
So Germans need, or everybody need to spend actions to increase that. So one action in this game
Yes.
is to increase this track. Only
Oh,
3.
okay. The armored track. Okay.
Unless you have the technology, because both games use technology. So
Yes.
one action is to develop technologies.
Here are the technologies. You see these tiles here?
Exactly. And technologies offers you advantage in the future. So you spend one action in one turn, and you get the benefits later on.
Of course, yes. It pay. Yeah, you can keep on using that technology for the rest of the game.
For example, you have aviation technology.
Yes.
Okay, there is one action that when you do missions, air missions, you only put 2 missions here as available. Only 2 missions.
Yes.
But if you got the technology, you can put up to 4.
Oh, I see.
So you double the production once you have the technology.
So a technological action is one of those actions that you can
Exactly.
take. So
Exactly.
when you take obviously a particular action is at the cost of not being able to take some other action. So you have to.
Exactly.
You
It's
have
an
to.
investment.
You have to pick and choose your actions. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then and you have supply here.
Yes. This is quite different from the previous one. In the previous one, you need one action to move and to attack.
Okay.
And here you can attack as much as you like. Meanwhile, you have enough supply.
Okay, depends on supply. Yeah.
Exactly. There is one action who increases the supply up to 5
Yes.
points. And if you got the technology of logistics, it allows you to increase 7. So
Oh,
let's
I
say
see.
that I have this technology
Yeah.
and I do increase supply action. So I will increase this from 1 to 8 because it
Okay.
increases 7
Because you have that tile, that technology.
before, yes. So in this game, to move and to attack, spend supply instead of action.
I
So
see.
you can move and you can attack. Meanwhile, you have enough supply. Let's say you are going to invade the Soviet Union. You have to be careful because this is a hard operation. It's not easy, and you can use panzers to pocket the enemies
Yes.
and left them out of supply. It's similar to Paso Flori.
Like you're surrounding them.
Yes.
So they don't have supplies. That's a
Exactly.
way of like creating pockets and eliminating a large number of their forces.
Exactly. But to do that, you need a lot of supply because you have to activate a lot of armies,
Yes.
and also to pocket you need tanks.
I see.
There are a lot of things.
And I see the units, when they are inverted, they have a white stripe.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Every army has 2 steps. So
Yes.
this is a full strength army.
Yes.
And in the combat, which is quite easy, once one army get one hit,
Oh, okay. It's inverted to it's like a
you flip.
reduced side.
yes,
Now that one is a 3 instead of a 5.
that's right.
I see. Okay.
That's right.
Nice.
There are some strategic areas, okay, like Suez, like Bucharest.
You got the oil fields, Romanian
Yeah.
oil fields there,
So if your opponent takes that areas,
and you have over here in the Caucasus
yes,
also.
it's quite difficult to get there,
Yeah.
but you can do that. You can do. And if you get that areas, obviously there is a disadvantage for your opponent.
And what are some white stars here? Like for example, Stalingrad.
Because as I explained you, in the game,
Yeah.
there is one action which is called reinforcements.
Oh, okay.
That allows you to introduce new armies, to create armies inside.
And that's where they start.
At the beginning of the game, Russia can create up to 4 steps.
Okay.
Once Barbarossa started, Russian can create up to 8 steps. But if for each two stars the German conquer, you lose 1 step.
Oh, okay.
So it's a way that the German, it's supposed to take the industry of the Soviets and reduce the reinforcements they can do each turn.
Oh, okay.
But
So
it's
wait.
difficult.
Yeah, you got a lot of stars there, so you got to capture a substantial number of stars to start reducing the. And I see the game starts in 1940.
Yes, it's supposed that Poland has been conquered.
Okay, Poland has been conquered. France has fallen already, right? Or not?
It's in the way to be fallen.
Oh, okay, it's gonna fall.
to surrender France,
Yes.
you only need armies in 3 areas.
Okay.
So if you have armies in 3 areas,
France
at
surrenders.
the end of the Allied turn, France is surrendered.
Okay, I
So
see.
it's quite easy.
I see.
Quite easy. If you allow, this is the designer of the game.
How you doing? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Your question was if no, because you start at winter of 1940. Then the surrender of France was in spring of 1940.
Yes.
And normally, if the Germans do well the attack, they can normally they get France, they get the surrender of France the second turn.
Oh, I see. So
But
you-
to simplify the game, I prefer to start in 1940 after the conquest of Poland and the starting of the Winter War.
the Winter War in Finland. So okay, I see.
That was better for the game.
I see. Yeah.
If you allow me, I will explain in 30 seconds.
Oh,
how the
take all your time. This is live streaming.
Okay.
These people here are not going anywhere. These people, the
Okay.
15 people that are watching, they're not going anywhere. So
Oh, good.
I leave you alone.
Okay.
I need to go to have lunch.
Lunch,
I have-
of course. Yes, a
can
conference.
we have your name because you got?
Yes, sorry,
I'm sorry.
Victor.
Victor Catala. Great. Catala. Okay. So okay, good.
It's from Barcelona.
I was born in Barcelona, but I'm just Ruiz, so it's not a Catalan last name. So
Okay. See you later then.
okay, I'll see you later. Sure, and the game looks fantastic, both of them.
Okay. Thank you.
So the combat is really, really easy. You
Okay.
don't have to go to any table. You don't have to do difficult mathematic operations.
Okay.
So let's say I will put here that in one area,
Yeah.
okay, at the end there are, let's say, give me one Russian.
Sure.
In one area there are those armies, okay,
Yeah.
and say, okay, the person who is moving,
Yes.
who's attacking,
Yes.
have to design one army as the main attacker. In that case, okay, this is the main,
Main attacker. Okay.
and this supports.
And that's the supporting unit.
Why
Okay.
can this support? Because they have more armies than your enemy.
Okay.
If the Russians have here
They had two armies.
2 armies, nobody can support this
Okay, I
because
see.
are engaged. Okay, but imagine that this is the situation.
Okay.
So it's 5 plus 2. It doesn't say in the when support always is plus 2.
Okay. Support is
Okay.
always +2. Okay, got
Unless
it.
it's reduced, it's plus 1.
+1. Okay, got it.
So it's 5 plus 2, 7
Yes.
against 5.
Yes.
So every player rolls 1 dice
Yeah.
and adds to the combat factor. And the one with more force is the winner.
So the Germans would be adding a +2.
It's 5
Oh,
plus 2, 7 against 5.
So they would be adding what?
Plus 2 because he's supporting.
Okay, and the Russians wouldn't be adding anything.
Anything.
Okay.
Okay. So every player rolls 1 dice and adds to the force. And the higher is the winner.
Okay.
The loser lose the army. And the winner reduce 1 unless they doubles. If finally the result is double, like
Yes.
10 to 5 or 10 to 4,
Oh, if the result is more,
It's more than
is more, is
twice.
double or higher.
in that case, it keeps us at the beginning. Nothing is
It
lost.
doesn't suffer a loss. Okay.
There are some extra additional
Okay.
role modifiers like terrain. So
Yeah, I see some areas have mountains.
mountains, it's plus 1 for the defender.
Okay.
And also there are aviation. So if you have built missions before, like
Let me see if I
sorry,
can get it.
here,
That's me. Let me get it. Yeah. You got it here. Okay.
they
got it.
should be here, the missions.
Oh, I see. You gotta. Okay. You gotta place it in the missions box.
Yeah, before you have to spend 1 action to build missions.
Okay.
That gives you 2 aviations, okay?
Oh, I see.
Unless you have
two markers,
2 markers.
which you can use for the battles.
Exactly. Then you put in the battle. And
What's the effect of the marker?
that's plus 2 to the dice.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay, it's easy.
And can the defender also place
Yes.
mission markers?
If the defender have in the supply already built mission, they can. It's like, okay, I spend 1, and the attacker now can say, okay, I spend another 1, and the defender can say, okay, I stop, or I follow you.
So I
So-
see. It's like a sequential thing that the
Yes.
attacker first announces, then the defender
Correct.
announces, then the attacker announces again, and then the defender.
Correct.
I see.
But the defender needs to have the technology of aviation,
Oh, I see.
because if not, he's not allowed to build missions.
To build missions.
So, and you have to spend 1 action to build, because each technology needs 2 actions.
I
So
see.
it is supposed that you have taken before 2 actions to build the corresponding. And you attack. Technologies that allows you to build tanks.
I see.
Technologies that allows you to disembark, to
And,
do amphibious landing.
Yeah. And I see here you got Italians.
The Italians.
So do the Italians have to build their own technologies, or just the Axis player?
Only the Axis can build technologies, but minor countries cannot use them.
So Italy would be a minor country for purposes of the game?
Yeah, it
So
would
they
be-
can't
yeah.
use the, okay. Yeah, because
exactly.
otherwise you would have the Italians with their panzer units and
Yeah,
air
there is
support.
one exception. I like
Yes.
your question, because there are there are Rommel, which is one army. I cannot find. Well, there is one army which is Rommel,
Yeah.
and this, if the Italians join Rommel in one attack in North Africa, they get +1 in the force. It's
I see.
a
So,
specific condition.
So that reflects that Rommel would make the Italians more efficient.
Exactly.
That's because he's Rommel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and here we have the technological tiles for
Yeah.
the Soviets.
Soviets have the Urals. I don't know in English. The Urals industry.
Urals, yeah.
This is a prerequisite to be many other technologies.
I see.
So first you have to develop Urals technology, and after that you can do aviation, blah 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 blah. Lots of them.
And let me see. What does this tile mean? Developments?
When you do the action of develop, okay, you put in you choose one technology in secret, and you put here.
Okay.
Because your opponents don't know what you have chosen.
And when do they know?
Once, second step, because each technology needs 2 steps. So let's say that the Soviets in the previous turn has developed this.
Yes.
And now in the current turn, they can say, okay, this is in step 1, so it's finally developed. And when they show.
Oh, this is the backside. I see.
Yeah.
So this is the backside of the
Yeah.
technology tile. So it's gonna. So you place it face down,
secret.
so they don't know
Exactly.
until it's fully developed, and then they know what it is.
Yeah. This,
Okay,
like this
guards.
technology is very good because normally Soviet armies are only 3 in combat factor.
Yes.
But this allows to create
5.
the Soviet war.
Yeah.
This is this one.
Those are 5 strength.
5 against 3.
Yeah. So it increases the strength to 5.
Yeah.
Cool.
So each technology
Okay, I see.
have one object, one matter or one objective or.
So if I'm the opponent and I see the Soviets doing this,
Yes.
I know that they spent an action developing some technology. I just don't know what that technology is
Exactly. Till they use this
until
technology.
it's the technology is done, is
There
ready
is
for it.
There is one action which I do like very much.
Yes.
Can I explain to you?
Of course.
Okay. So Germans can create missions here. Okay, and one mission is to build submarines. Okay, when they create submarines, they put 3 submarines mission in the pool.
Okay.
Okay, and for free, they can use 2 of them
Yes.
to do Battle of the Atlantic.
Ah, see, we got a display here, the Battle of the Atlantic.
Exactly, and with this, they deny one action of the
Oh,
English.
I see.
So imagine you are English, you have only 2 actions, and if I'm the German at the beginning of the game, of course, before the USA joins the war, when British are alone because France have already fall down,
See, when they can't afford it, they're going to lose one unless they do what?
unless they do nothing.
They're
They
screwed there.
cannot do anything with
Oh,
submarines war.
but the Germans have to conduct the
Yeah,
action. So if the
yeah.
Germans do
Spend.
something else, then the British are going to get their 2 actions.
They have to first build in the pool,
Yes.
spend one action
Yeah.
to put here 3 submarines,
And use 2 for
and use
the.
2 to reduce by 1 the number of actions the allies the
Okay.
allies have. So
Okay.
you are English and you only have 1 action. And at the beginning of the game, with that action,
Yeah, but
you
the
have-
U.S. is not in the war yet.
not until 1942.
Okay. And how does the U.S. get into the war?
Automatically in 1942,
Oh, I see.
US joins
Yeah,
the
that's
war.
because the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor.
Yes.
Yep.
And imagine that you are English.
Well, really, that's because the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor and Hitler declared war on the United States. That's how it happened.
The designer don't want to be far away from the reality.
Okay.
So
No, I
you
see.
can do several things, but you cannot go against the history.
No, of course.
So not too
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
So with this action, you are English. We are in 1942. You have to help the French to not be fallen. You have to conquer Norway because Norway it's an important resource.
Oh, I see. That's a resource symbol. So what does that resource symbol, what effect does it have on play?
Those are supposed to be the mines of Norway. And
Okay.
if the Allies get this area,
Yes.
the Germans in summer and in spring, her action are reduced by 1. So
Oh.
it's very important.
So that's
Okay.
that creates the incentive for the Allies to go into Norway. Otherwise, why would we bother going into Norway, right?
Well, there is one race between Allies and the Germans
Yes,
to be the first to take Norway
Norway.
at the beginning of the game. Okay, this is an important battle. And last thing you have to do is to reinforce Montgomery in North Africa
Okay.
because this situation is in the middle of the game. Okay, the Italians at the beginning obviously are not here.
Yeah, they start, I suppose, here in Libya,
Yeah, exactly.
and they advance as
they advance because
But you got to stop them.
Yeah. So British have to reinforce Suez because can imagine that next turns the Germans and the Italians will go for this. So a lot of work with the British,
yes.
but they cannot do anything.
I like that in a compact way you're representing accurately the situations that happen from the start of the period the game requires 1940. So you have the issues. France is about to fall, but at the same time the Italians are going to advance. So you as the Allied player, you have to pick and choose what you're going to do.
Exactly.
And the Germans may want to emphasize on their U-boat war, so you're not going to have a lot of actions. So it looks like a game where there's a lot of decision making, right?
Yep.
And every decision counts.
Exactly. And the decisions you have not taken counts more.
Exactly. And there's always going to be some decisions you can't take because
Yeah.
you have a limited number of actions.
Exactly.
So now this game, Do It Games is a relatively new company, right? And
Yeah, we are 4 years old,
okay,
but we are focused on historical games. We are partner of GMT in Spain,
okay,
and we have our own games.
Yes.
And this is our first Kickstarter, which will be launched at 28th of February.
okay, great. A
We are
Kickstarter,
very-
28th February.
Yep. We are very, we are looking forward. We have great expectations with this, and we already have several European partners that will join 3 years.
It shows. It's a very nicely done map. The counters, I like that some counters are round, others are square. They're easy to
take.
understand. I like games that when I look at the map, I know what's going on. Don't have to be lifting things up.
The players are not so tidy because they
No, I
they
know.
are in the middle of the game.
Yeah, I know they're going at it, but it looks like really nice production and there's something I had heard about Do It Games, but I hadn't seen any of the games, so I'm very well surprised and I really like what I'm seeing. So this looks very well done. So I congratulate you.
Just I would like to explain that we have a Basal module already
Okay.
finished in production, and we have the rules in BGG, so everybody can take a
Okay.
look. And most important, rules are only 4 pages.
4
because
pages.
all the
Okay.
history are with technologies and with small rules, but
Okay.
you can follow more or less what happened in the reality
Yeah, I see.
with very few rules.
And you have it here, for example, in the turn record track has some information.
Yeah,
Like it'll tell you, for example, winter. So you start in winter 1940,
yes.
and you
This
have
is-
an R. What does the R mean? Reinforcements?
Yeah, this is a winter turn.
Yeah.
It's in blue. That means that you cannot use aviation
Okay.
because it's very cold. Okay, not use air missions only in North Africa. This is just to remind.
Oh,
Okay?
I see.
The R means that minor countries
Yes.
can take one step. Like Bulgaria, Romania, very minor countries can take one reinforcement step for free.
Oh, I see.
But this is quite impossible in the first turn unless, because they are neutral, and minor countries, Hungary, Bulgaria, starts in 1942, unless somebody attacks, but and this is not usual, okay?
Yeah.
So minor countries will join the war
Later
in
on.
1942.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
So this is just to remind you when you get one free step.
I see. Okay.
And one, it's just what happened, like if you see one and you go one here.
Oh, you got a note down. Yeah,
it's
it tells you.
amazing. It's Greece joins the Allies. Okay,
Oh,
you
I
don't
see.
have to go to the rules because mostly all the information are already on the map.
I see. Yes, I see the
Like
map.
Romania, Bulgaria, and Hungary joins the war in
In the
number one.
Yep. I see it there. Okay.
So we try to put as many information on the map, just people to say, okay, stop. Let me go for the rules. Let me read again. Let me find this. Where, and it's time. I think this saves a lot of time.
That's great. No, it's great, and I like what I'm seeing, the production and the theme is always nice. A strategic World War II game you can play in 3 hours.
Yeah.
And in Europe, that's
Let's say 4.
4.
For
Okay.
beginners.
Yeah, but that's one sitting. You know, you can
Yeah,
play in
one
one sitting
sitting,
in
yeah.
one evening. That's always good. So, and this is a 3-player game, or this
It's 2 or 3 players.
2 or 3 players. So you can have either the Axis against the Allies, or
Yeah.
you can have the Western Allies, Soviets, and Axis.
Soviets and Western ones together.
Yes.
And there is one action I forgot to tell you, that there is the Lend-Lease action.
Okay.
So not at the beginning of the game, but once the Allies can breathe a little bit.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, they can breathe a little bit. They can send one action or
Okay.
give one action to the
To
Russians.
the Soviets, okay.
The only condition is to control Karelia. So if
So the
you
Soviets have to control Karelia, otherwise
this player
yeah,
look,
because that represents a Murmansk convoy.
yes, exactly, Murmansk.
So if you don't have Karelia, then you lost that port.
That option,
That option,
to
yeah.
send one action.
I see.
But the Russians in this game, the first thing they did is to take that,
Yeah.
just to assure that later on the Allies will say, okay, no problem,
I
take
see.
my action.
Yeah, I see. Nice.
You can see also the disembark, the amphibious landing. So this is quite important in the game because to do an amphibious landing,
Yes.
you only can do through arrows.
Oh, I see the arrows there. Let's take a closer look here. See the arrows?
Yep.
But you got choices there. You got, I guess, this short arrow here will be like Pas de Calais.
Exactly.
You have Normandy and Brittany.
Yep.
But of course, this is farther away from the
yeah, because in this game,
yes.
USA have just joined the war recently,
Yeah.
and there are reinforcements here, because I guess his plans is to disembark on D. But to disembark on D, they need the disembark technology.
Oh, I see.
So
Yeah.
there is another step.
That would represent, the construction of the landing barges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the U.S. could disembark from the U.S. into these areas, or would they have to move into
Depend.
Britain to disembark in these ones?
If they have the disembark technology, they can disembark on D.
But if they don't, what happens?
The only option is to go to UK.
There to UK, and
to-
from there use the arrows.
Yes.
Okay, great.
And last option, it's what really happened, is the torch. That they can disembark in
Yeah, I see them there.
here with no, because this is neutral once France have fallen.
Yeah.
It's neutral country, and go with Tunis to Sicily. This is the another option.
Yeah,
And to do that, they don't need the disembark because it's an arrow.
it's an arrow.
But to get there, they do. So
So to
disembark, it's a key technology.
To get to North Africa, they need to disembark then.
Yes.
Okay, that technology. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. So now Arthur looks very nice. So when does the Kickstarter start?
At 28th, but we are now.
28th of January? February.
But everybody can join us.
Okay.
And can subscribe the Kickstarter page,
Yes.
and once we launch, we can notice them.
Okay. So this is Do It Games. This is Downfall of the Third Reich, and the other one is Downfall of Empires, which is World War I, using similar systems. But of course, you saw that for the World War II game, there's more things involved, like you have armored armies, and of course you have the different technologies, which are different from the technologies that you have for World War I. So
Here, more asymmetrical.
Yes.
So, like for example, only one side have the disembark, the Allies.
Yes.
Okay. And we have advanced aviation.
yeah.
Okay. And only one side have advanced aviation, and we have the Urals industry. Obviously, only Soviets have Urals industry. It's a little more.
So of course each side
asymmetrical.
plays differently, which is of course that you're emphasizing on particular aspects, and so each side of course plays differently.
Exactly.
And that's what we're seeing more and more in games this way. I mean, history is asymmetrical by itself. I mean,
Exactly.
not everybody has the same
It's not a
resources and
euro.
everything. So this looks very nice, and I congratulate you, and
Thank you.
and looking forward to taking a closer look and of both games actually, because the two topics are really always interesting: strategic games that you can dive into the game quickly, but has their nuances and has their strategies. So you got to think it well what you're going to do, because you can't do everything that you want to do.
Exactly.
So, okay, so this looks very nice, and thank you for
Thank you,
showing us both
Jose.
games, Arthur.
Thank you.
A
Enjoy.
pleasure. Okay, thank you. So that was Downfall of Empires and Downfall of the Third Reich. Looking forward to those. So it's 28th of February coming up. Everybody's going out to lunch. So we've been going on for 46 minutes, 60 frames per second. Hopefully the sound, you can listen to everything. See, everything has a good thing, a good side and a bad thing. The good thing about tables apart is that you can listen to the person who's right beside me. So, looking at so everybody's out to lunch. Suggestion for production. I saw this now. British Commonwealth troop counter have different flags. Some Australian, some. Oh, I don't know. I don't know enough about the game really to opine one way or another, so I have to take a closer look. This one is the Wars of Religion. I saw this one at the last Bellota Con. So interesting looking map. It has that medieval feeling to it. So this is 1563 to 1598. Looks like a French game, Tours de Dieu. The turns of the game, and it looks like it's card driven. This is one. It looks very interesting too. So let's see what else. Commands and colors, always popular at the conventions. They have this. This looks like the expansion where you use two boards, which I forgot the name of. This is Napoleonics. And funny, they're playing with the pieces laying on their backs. I wonder why is that so, but you buy a game, you play it however you want. And this is the Sekigahara here. This is another Commands and Colors. The signs say we've left for lunch. Says here I stand. Great campaigns of the Civil War being played. This is Ratio Regis. This looks like a Europa Universalis kind of game. Don't know much about that one. Here we have like the monster game of the convention. And this looks like La Bataille. Well, last Ligny, 1815. I don't know, is this La Bataille? This is Hexasim. Hexasim. So you see the units there. That's what's being played. Let's see here. We have more tables. This is Hearts and Minds being played. That's Compass Games. And Stalingrad 42 over there. the Stalingrad 42. And you have here, Here I Stand. No, this is, yeah, Here I Stand over here. And this is ASL being played also. This is Downfall, we saw that. Another Downfall of the Third Reich. I think they brought like 3 or 4 copies. Downfall of Empires. Downfall of Empires. Never Surrender. This has little minis. Also strategic game. This is David Gomez Reyoso's game on the Carlist War. Which is called Una Guerra Imposible, an impossible war. He uses, which he used also during Crusade and Revolution. At the beginning it was like, I wasn't used to it, but I like it. It's like the starting positions at the beginning of the game of each side are denoted by the color. So the red units will have that red zone. And the good thing about that is during the game is, as the game progresses, you see what territory the other side has occupied, or whether your territory has expanded. Because it's like it's a color code for the initial positions in the game. So this is a block game, point-to-point map on the Carlist Wars, which I know very little of. So I think this is going to be published by, I don't know, Bellica 3rd Generation, because we see other of their games here. So this is it's a card-driven block game. I think it's card-driven, which is also interesting because it reminds me of a 3-player card-driven game. I forget now. By GMT, I did a video on. So you got at least 2 elements. A card-driven game has its fog of war because you don't know what cards the other side's going to play. And the blocks also have a fog of war because you don't know the units that will engage your side until you get into battle. So you have another copy of the same game here. Being played. Let me see this one here. So we've been at it for 55 minutes. Hello, Jetty Man, you just came in when I'm going out. 'Cause, I think I'm gonna have some lunch over here. But I'll keep on transmitting. And see if we can get close with some of the games. So, what games have I signed up for? None. I haven't signed up for any because I promised that I was going to cover the convention as much as I can. But I don't close the door. I may play something. For me, I like traveling to conventions, and this thing, the live streaming, even though I don't do it for my channel, but I usually do edited videos. I love the live streaming for conventions. If it can be well done, right? And for me, well done means that the audio is fine, you can listen to everything well, and the camera doesn't shake. Yeah, I know I should play. Yeah, that's what gaming conventions are for. So who knows? Who knows? Still got this day, today, and 2 more days. But I really enjoy just watching people play and interviewing people. Here's a game that I signed up for the Kickstarter. This is the 303 Squadron. It looks really nice. The map is just amazing. So let's see, maybe I'll play something. But even if I don't play, I really enjoy just covering it. And after you come to various of these conventions, you see games that were being developed like 2-3 years ago. Now they're about to be published, and it's really like watching somebody grow, you know. So some of these games are really beautiful and very interesting, and they're different from, you know, what you normally see in the States, hex and counter games. So I think this influx of European game design to war games is always good to have. It's always nice to have different ways of recreating conflicts, not just, you know, the same hex and counter, zone of control, 5 or 10 unit stacks. Looking at something different. You know, there's always different ways of watching things and interpreting events. So this is what I like here about it. So I'm going to leave you guys for now, 58 minutes, and I'll be back after lunch. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it's coming out well and clear, loud and clear. And as I always say, this is Stuka Joe signing off for now. Thanks for watching.